Hey, it's 7 Grains of Salt. I hope you're having a great day. How CV has changed many things travel, testing, and more. We're going to look at a few things here today. Croatia opened its doors to American travelers, the only country in Europe to open its doors. Just amazing how they've changed everything that is going on today. International travel might not return to normal until 2024, they say. Well, you'll either have to be a global citizen or have a vaccine card, but we'll get into that. We've had friends and family fly in all the way from the States, having to wear masks from anywhere from 18 to 24 hours. Wow. I take my hat off to all those who have kids because it is a challenge. But now JetBlue is also using UV blasting devices for disinfecting planes. Really. Although they did say they will be doing the normal wiping down and everything else on top of that, but this is a new thing that they're doing. Unbelievable. But make sure that you check your airline before leaving because yes, mandatory masks are mandatory now and the airline might not allow you to fly in the future if you do not wear them. And then when you return back to the States, you'll be given this travel health declaration. You'll need to fill it out and sign it. And I don't know, it's getting to be like they're harassing everyone as they come and go to wherever they're going to, whether being in quarantine or wearing masks. I don't know. I don't know. Will you fly in the future knowing that you'll have to be dealing with all this? All I'll say is a little hint to anyone. Try to eat constantly on the flight. Maybe they won't make you wear the mask because that's the only way to avoid wearing it. Maybe carrots, nuts, I don't know. Just a thought. But Finland also just announced that they'll be starting to test the coronavirus when all passengers are arriving in the country, starting in the next few days. Oh boy, more and more chaos. And if you haven't seen this, if you do not comply with their quarantining when you come into the countries who state that you need to be quarantined, if you don't sign the form, you'll be placed under house arrest, just like a criminal. I'll add the links for all these so you can watch them, the UV plus this, and so much more. But then, of course, don't forget that the way that they're going to get us to be happy is that we're going to have certificates of digital immunity.
Eventually, what we'll have to have is certificates of who's a recovered person, who's a vaccinated person, because you don't want people moving around the world where you'll have some countries that won't have it under control. Sadly, you don't want to completely block off the ability for those, people to go there and come back and move around.
But most of the people who watch this channel already know that the coronavirus is just a common cold. But yes, this has been a very strong cold on some. I'm not denying that something isn't out there. But the coronavirus, COVID, stands for the common cold and also Certificate of Vaccine ID, just to keep in mind from some of my other videos that I've done in the past. But this is where I don't like hearing this. Genetically modified organisms and injecting them into kids.
World at large, normalcy only returns when we've largely vaccinated the entire global population. And we're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein.
Honestly, I just think he is one sick man when you know all that you know about him. And when I see that the Colorado bill requires re-education for parents who refuse COVID-19 vaccine, just unbelievable. And when parents are having to test their newborns, unbelievable. Just listen.
Okay, so this was at a Texas Alliance Hospital in Fort Worth. The message is try not to explode, knowing how I feel about these things. Danielle and I just had baby number 4 and our first here in Texas. After 15 hours of labor, a nurse came in and told us that Danielle must have a COVID test. We respectfully declined, stating there was zero reason to do so since we had been quarantined. The nurse said, "That's your right," and then left. Less than 5 minutes later, another nurse came in and said, "I just want to inform you that if you decline this test, you will be placed on what she called the federal investigation list." She then told us we would all be considered positive. Me and family and baby would not be able to leave with us, taking the baby away. Now keep in mind, during the heat of labor, few labor complications going on, and now in the middle of this, they come in and make this announcement: your baby will not be able to leave the hospital with you. Kidnapping my unborn son in that moment to get a test, which if we decide to decline, we will now be treated as if we're all infected and counted as positive COVID tests. She also stated that with contact tracing, everyone we had contact with will be notified and must get tested and prove a negative test, or they will also be considered positive. Just even retelling this story, I'm about to explode. This is all BS and I'm so sick of it. And yes, that's exactly what's going on. Babies being taken away from their mothers, because after all, the bonding with the mothers and the breastfeeding, I mean, who would think that's important? And you understand why I get angry sometimes, right?
Just absolutely insane what they are doing. I couldn't believe that. And then to even see many fish and this and the masked police. Just listen.
The problem is, this is the thing, dude. So you understand. You have to wear it properly. If you're not wearing it properly, it's not like you're wearing it at all.
What am I signing here?
It's a civil citation.
Okay, can I not sign it? I don't really want to.
Okay.
You don't want to not sign it, bro. That's
this is the thing, man. It's $110.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
You can dispute it in court.
Let me finish. It's $110, but you don't have to necessarily pay $110. You can call, you can do community service, you can do a different thing in order to supplement for it. I would suggest you take it. If you don't take it, I don't want to arrest you. I would suggest you take it. If you don't take it, I don't want to arrest you.
So he could have gotten arrested for not signing that right there and then. Unbelievable. This mask police. They're not even real policemen. Oh, so then next I have, and this is sticking here, and this I wanted to just add in here as a picture, but I'll add the link where you can listen to. For those who think that vaccines, this is a good thing, that we should be vaccinated. I clearly and ask you to listen to this. There has been so much that has come against Bill Gates and his vaccinations about polio and many other things. So please watch. But last note, and not the least, on point preparedness. If you haven't seen this, you are going to have to watch the entire video. He goes over Celeste and how she is also linked with New Agers. And I'm going to show you just a couple clips, not concerning Celeste, but how this all that we're seeing is also being talked about with the New Agers. So let's just watch, and I'll add the link below.
Regarding discernment, I did videos on this like last year when I was coming to, I was a truther, I was into conspiracy, I was into all that stuff. And what I started to realize was, if I just talk about exposing evil, if I just talk about exposing Hollywood, let's just use that, I started to find myself in chat rooms or social media groups with a whole bunch of people that were non-Christian. And okay, that's good for the purpose of the gospel and things like that, but it persisted. Okay, just because you find a commonality with people, such as rebuking evil, the Illuminati Hollywood, it doesn't mean everyone is of the faith. Jesus chastised the Pharisees, and he said that you can discern the seasons, or you can discern the weather and the changing of the seasons, but you can't discern the spiritual sign of the times in terms of he being the Messiah and me being present right before you. They were spiritually blind. Okay? That's what Jesus was saying. You can see all these things around you of the world, but spiritually you're blind. So here's the question that I have to ask the Christian community. Think something that we should ponder. We should ponder upon. There are New Agers like David Wilcock that are talking about the mark of the beast definitively being the vaccine, being the hydrogel COVID vaccine injection, being luciferase, being a chip. We've got Kanye West, who has questionable fruit, talking about false gospels still being the true gospel and we're all one. Talking about, the chip is the mark of the beast to make it where we can't cross the gates of heaven. Okay, people of the world are all saying, everyone look this way. We need, Bill Gates, all this. And I'm not supporting Bill Gates. I'm not supporting Fauci. I'm not supporting any of that. But when you start having New Agers and the world and people with questionable fruit all saying, hey, look, the mark of the beast is this. What did Jesus say? He said that people that are not of the faith are spiritually blind and can only discern worldly things. And so when we have people of the world like David Wilcock, New Agers, saying this is the mark, do we really think that they hold the truth of the mark of the beast? Or do we think it's a deception? My personal opinion on this is, some people think that there is no physical mark, that it's just spiritual. The mark on the head or the hand just means your thoughts and your actions. My personal view is there might actually be a mark of the beast because of the buying and selling. And I sort of go along with the fact that Satan loves for people to believe by sight. What does Scripture tell us? It says we live by faith, not by sight.
Exactly. We walk by faith and not by sight. We don't need to be worried about whatever this corona flu thing is. We should be confident in walking with the Lord and knowing that He will be by our side the whole time, whether even if we get sick, that He will not leave us or forsake us. I thought I'd share all those. I'm going to add all the links because I really think you should listen to those. Very, very good. So I hope you have a great day. I have another one coming up, hopefully if I get it done today, but latest by tomorrow. So God bless and have a great day.